Hello, everyone. Welcome to Doc's Herbal Corner, sponsored by Dr. Tates, Herbal Tinctures and Tonics. Sarsaparilla Root. What do we know? Well, it's been used for centuries for its healing, therapeutic, and blood cleansing properties. But I'm interested in more detail about the herb. So let's head on over to Doc's Herbal Corner and discuss Sarsaparilla Root with naturopath, herbalist, author, diplomat of integrated medicine with over half a century of herbal medicine experience, Dr. Stephen Tates. Let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a particular herb. There are so many of them. I mean, I personally can walk into an herb store and it can be overwhelming. And so knowledge is power. And so someone who walks into an herbal store, if they have the knowledge beforehand, that puts them in a much better position.
Yeah, that puts them in a safer position.
Okay.
Because too often, the people in the health food stores have no training, not even basic training on the different herbs. And this is important because I hear people say a lot of times, which is why Doc's Herbal Corner is extremely important to me personally as an herbalist, as a naturopath, as a nutritionist, because the less prepared you are, the more mistakes you can end up making. I hear people say a lot of times, oh, herbs are safe. Not
necessarily.
Not necessarily. I'll give you an example. I could be on a blood thinner like Coumadin or heparin or something like that, okay, to thin my blood because it's clotting too much. And I've been in stores where people will say, well, you can take some Echinacea golden seal or golden seal, and that will help. Well, the problem is that Echinacea and golden seal are blood thinners. Now, if you're already on blood thinners, then you take some herbs that are blood thinner. You see, 1 and 1 don't make 2, it makes 11 in my math, because now you're over the edge because now you're taking too much. Then your body goes through crisis, and the golden seal and echinacea are being blamed for the problem, but it's because people did not understand and didn't do their homework. So there's a proportion you take. There's things you need to understand about the herb before you take them, because some of your most powerful healing herbs can potentially be your most dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. It's like driving down the highway in the wrong direction. There's going to be a crash and burn because you didn't know what you were doing. The herb that we want to talk about today is sarsaparilla. Sarsaparilla. Now, sarsaparilla can come in many forms, but the best form is in root form. And sarsaparilla is an excellent, excellent blood cleanser. And the reason why it helps in cleansing the blood is because it's increasing the circulation of the blood. The more the blood is circulating through the body, through water, exercise, stuff like that, and then an herb like sarsaparilla, then it helps the body cleanse out impurities. It doesn't do it on its own, but it assists the body along with the things you're doing. Now, sarsaparilla we consider a complementary herb that goes into other combinations that help those combinations work better. Some roots and herbs that we will cover through these various sessions are standalone. I got this. So I don't need any help. Right? My first cousin is going to be over here with me. Sarsaparilla is that combiner that works well in herbal forms more than by itself. Taken by itself and taken too much can cause too rapid a cleansing and itching and irritation because you don't know what you're doing with it. So it's a good blood cleanser, but mixed with other herbs, it has a much, much better response.
Is it If you go into a herbal store, is it like a powder or is it like little pieces of root?
Your best form for that would be in root or bark form. Sarsaparilla root, sarsaparilla bark.
Not the leaf
Not the leaves. No, the leaves are just not strong enough.
Okay.
Right? But in this case, sarsaparilla is strongest in the root form. And it's bitter. Not,
It's a bitter.
Yeah, it's a bitter. Your bitter herbs, as we go through this, you're going to find a very, very strong cleansers, especially for our circulatory system, which means our blood, our urinary tract, our glandular system. It helps in flushing things out of the body. But some of the things that sarsaparilla can help with is decreasing pain and swelling. So the inflammation in different areas of the body and the swelling contribute to pushing on the nerves in the body to cause pain.
Okay.
Sarsaparilla is one of those herbs. You can't take alone, but it has to be in moderation, but it's best combined with other roots, will help decrease the swelling, which decreases the pain. Now, how does this happen? It happens because when you're swollen, then that swelling pushes up against the nerves in the body, which contributes to that pain. It can slow down the growth of cancer cells, help with RA, which is rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay.
Helps with like psoriasis, which is outbreaks on the skin, inflammation, particularly around our liver, with liver damage. So sarsaparilla is one of those roots also that helps protect our liver, and the liver kind of regulates everything in the body. So it's a great anti-inflammatory.
Is it something that someone would add to like a tea or?
Because it's a root, it would be added to other roots, and it's typically not a tea. It's more like a tonic.
Oh, more like a tonic. Okay.
That you take small amounts at a time.
Okay.
And then it can help with flushing out uric acid, which can then contribute to gout, and it has what's called antimicrobial benefits in it, which helps in eliminating fungus and bacteria in the body. So it's a powerful herb. Now, to wind this up, people might say, well, how do I find out about what an herb does? Get you a couple of herb books. Read up on the properties, and then read up on what the properties mean. It will make you be a little bit more informed. Of course, you need to come to an herbalist or nutritionist that's local in your area. But then if there's one that's not local, then, I'm around, stirring up trouble. But people need to be guided, in the beginning when they start working with these and respect the power of the herbs as you use them. So look up sarsaparilla, go online. That's the beauty of the internet, go to Wikipedia and stuff, and then learn what the sarsaparilla can do more for the body. Or they can call me, or they can call.
Well, so what's the best way for someone to reach you, say online?
Okay. They can go to cartertates@gmail.com, or they can go to
Carter
Tates.
cartertates@gmail.com.
gmail.com. Okay. That's one way. Or they can call me directly, on 404-943-1171. But if you do that, the extra benefits you will get would be by saying, I heard you on the podcast. I heard you on the podcast, because when you mention that, you may get more benefits because I know that you're listening and trying to learn at the same time.
Right. That is fantastic.
Okay. But I think I know we left the listeners with some things to think about. If we get people to think, lifestyle changes, sarsaparilla, then you and I have done our job, because it's about stimulating people to start looking at what they're doing and researching the things I recommend. I tell people, don't just believe me, investigate, and then you learn more.
And now, a quick word about our sponsor, Dr. Tates, Herbal Tinctures and Tonics. Dr. Tates' all-natural herbal formulas, which are the true definition of herbal tonics, have been available for over 20 years. These specially formulated herbal tonics are designed to help cleanse, heal, rebuild, and revitalize your body, which will help improve your overall health. Dr. Tates offers the Herbal Blood Tonic, Dox Detox, Herbal Fat Burner, Herbal Female Tonic, and Herbal Male Tonic. If you would like to learn more about the tonics and where to pick up your bottle, call 404-459-8696 or visit Dr. Tates at drtates.online. That's drtates.online. Or you can simply Google Dr. Tates Herbal Tinctures and Tonics, and you will find a great deal of information on the internet. That does it for this episode of Adventures in Good Health. And we would like to hear from you regarding this podcast and any suggestions you have for future podcasts. You can reach us at Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Please subscribe and leave a rating or a review. Until next week, this is David Maloof exploring natural approaches to good health.